Stan Lee on why Spider-Man is relatable. Of course, we've seen Brand New Day break records. It's on the road to, is it 2 billion yet?
1.8, I believe, by the weekend.
Yeah, it'll be a week from today. It'll be over 2 billion. Here is a young Stan Lee from back in the day. Check out that stash and hair. This is a clip our producer Lori looked up. Atomic Lori found this. It's why Spider-Man is relatable, which might explain its over-the-top success. Let's look at this clip.
Portraying, but we tried to bring comics a little more into the real world. You know, I shouldn't really say this, but the chances are that possibly even you and I aren't perfect. I wouldn't say that about Marina. And I know she is, but today most people just aren't. We tried to make our characters have feet of clay. Now, poor Spider-Man. I mean, okay, he's pretty good at catching bad guys, but he's apt to get an allergy attack while he's fighting. He worries about dandruff. He'll have an ingrown toenail, tears his costume. His Aunt May won't let him go out to save the world because he's not wearing his galoshes and it's snowing out. And the funny thing is, I started doing that as a gag and really to keep myself awake, you know. And I found that the readers are as crazy as I am. They started enjoying this sort of thing. So after 20 years of writing pap and writing things like the strips you mentioned before, I suddenly realized, I can actually have fun with what I'm doing. And now, the more realistic we make our characters, the more the college kids who read them think that it's satire, which has taught me a very great lesson. The world is so crazy that if you present things the way they really are, it comes across as broad satire. And
oh, wait a minute, no.
All the sociology and psychology majors can do what they want with that one.
But Spider-Man is not really the way things are.
Oh, he is. You see...
I love
Wait till Hunter Thompson gets out here.
He's not the way. No. Spider-Man actor. Look, you know Woody Allen. I mean, you know he's for real. Well, I always thought if Woody Allen were a superhero, he'd be Spider-Man. You see? And, or if I were a superhero, because nothing ever turns out right for me. I mean, I got here, for instance, tonight, I got here 4 hours too early. They didn't serve dinner in I thought I'd stay in the room and not get in trouble or anything. They didn't serve dinner till 5 minutes before the fella called and says, you got to be here in 5 minutes. So I just had time to take one mouthful of something and race over here so I could wait for an hour backstage, you see?
Right.
And this is what would happen to Spider-Man or to Woody Allen. It's real.
I love this. That's why I related to Marvel Comics as a kid. Like they had the heroes had real world problems. You know, while I did love Superman, Batman, you know, Justice League comics, they were gods. They were myths. They were beyond heroes. Marvel heroes had real world problems, and that they've stuck to that to today, I think. Well, I mean, man, not seeing a Stan Lee cameo in a Marvel movie is just sad to me now. I mean, I feel like every movie should pay tribute to Stan and the comic creators who were involved in, you know, the reason we're watching these big budget movies today is because these creators, you know, made these classic comics and stories. But do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Stan just outlined what it means to see yourself in art, to see yourself on the big screen, to see yourself in a book, in a comic book, on television. It's not seeing someone with the same color skin as you or whose parents may have been born in the same country your parents were born in. What you see yourself because you see your experience on screen. You know, when Spider-Man, he's a high schooler who has to keep an identity secret. He has to deal with, you know, going to school, dealing with his friends, dealing with Aunt May. These are things that we can all relate to. And that's how we see ourselves. That's why we can see ourselves in Spider-Man. The Hulk, you know, who hasn't become a monster when they become angry? You know, Captain America, who hasn't been so patriotic that, you know, that your patriotism guides the way you act. These are characters, these are instances of people and experiences you see that you see yourself in. The best example I always give is, you know, the Holdovers. The Paul Giamatti character is just this kind of teacher that no one really takes seriously, and who's kind of, you know, on the outs with everyone else. And, you know, my daughter tells me I really related to that character. She looks nothing, Paul Giamatti looks nothing like my daughter, but she felt the experience that was going on there. And and again, I think that's why I always gravitated toward Marvel than I did for DC. Because look, Clark Kent, I mean, he's superpowered, can't be hurt by anything. Batman, well, he's a rich guy whose parents died. Oh, okay, I guess I can feel something for that. But Marvel was always the comics that you can identify with because of what the character was going through.
I would agree. I that's why I loved Marvel Comics.